Good morning. You know, every now and again, something pops up in life. Comes up when you least expect it. Over the last few months, I've had conversations with many of a fellow foreigner, or I've listened in depth to some that have left messages on emails. And it's funny how so many things that one will be talking about in one's thought for the day tend to be avoided by some. What I mean by that is that we all often put forward an idea that life as a retiree, life as an older person is full of a newfound love, a newfound enjoyment, a newfound hobby, maybe even just a newfound new lease of life. But we don't tend to tell a true story. When I say a true story, it doesn't really reflect everyday life, because everyday life is not just all roses, happy times. After all, life in general is not all every day a happy day. This isn't meaning that I'm trying to spread a bit of gloom and doom, but more importantly, it's just trying to give you an idea that if you think that by coming to the Philippines is in some way the answer to everything that you're looking for in life, think again, guys. You know, there's Brent's world. His wife Miles has gone away for a few days, and he started, after even just 10 hours, started to reflect and maybe just tell you from the heart exactly how he feels about different issues within a family. It doesn't mean he hates his family, it doesn't mean he dislikes life here, but it's truth that comes forward. Just like when you talk to other foreigners and you understand that from their perspective life is very similar to your own whilst living with the Filipina. Those that have followed me have followed my life and tribulations with my family back in Nagilian. And there's no doubt that we had our certain ups and downs as well. But that doesn't mean that that's the end of the world either. It doesn't mean that one can't, how would you put it, one can't resolve the issues that confronted you. But what does happen is that sometimes we just avoid the issue. Sometimes we listen to others and think everybody else has got the answer, when in fact the answers are really there for you. They're in your head. But it takes time to realize that, and nothing we do will necessarily change it, but it's just our attitude towards finding out these issues. Family issues are one of your biggest problems that you're going to have when you're in the Philippines, because even though we talk about being isolated, we talk about sometimes feeling out of the loop. It's a really true feeling. It's not that other families don't treat us in a good way. It's just that the realization that we're not as important as we might think within the big picture for a Filipina. Sure, we provide income, we provide a certain amount of security, and in many ways in many kinds of ways, we've probably even built a home. So therefore we're providing a physical security as well. But when there's an issue within a family between different family members, maybe even between themselves, you get cast aside a little bit, as if the issues that are confronting them are somehow not important for you to be concerned. Now, that can be very frustrating for many of us, because we feel we can offer resolution, we can offer another alternative way of looking at things. And after all, aren't we number one? Aren't we supposed to be the one that they care for? And no doubt they do. But why do they cast us aside? Why do they take our opinion with such little attention? And I put it to you that maybe that's their problem. It's not yours. But we do tend to take it upon ourselves to the point where we maybe feel even more isolated, because the issue carries on and it feeds because of their isolation of you. I'll give you an example. If you have a family member who dislikes you personally, we're told, don't worry about it, that'll be okay, I'll sort it out. And no doubt they probably will say something themselves in their own way and in their own language. But whether the issue is resolved at that point, we'll never know, because we already feel that we're not liked. We feel that somehow we're on the outside. And sometimes it's just not enough. Sometimes we have to say something. It's then when we say something that we're put in our place, because it's like it's not our business, it's not our right to say these things. Why isn't it? If we find something that is maybe disrespectful toward us, maybe unwarranted, why shouldn't we feel that we can address it to their faces, to let the other person know that we're not happy? Instead, we are encouraged to maybe go and sit somewhere else, or go back to another part of a home. And by doing that, you feel that you're being put in your place. And by doing that also, it isolates you further. And so many of us do. I recall a guy, a fellow person that I know, an English guy, who also has fallen out with his daughter-in-law. And as a result, every time the daughter-in-law returned to the Philippines, he's stuck in the house. Why? Because the family gather, the family spend time together, but he's not welcome, or he's made not to feel welcome. So every time she comes to the Philippines, he knows that he's going to spend a lot of time on his own. Is that fair? Would it not be better for the mother to say something to the daughter-in-law, to her daughter, and say, that's not acceptable that you treat my husband that way? But inevitably nothing happens. So this guy always ends up staying where he is supposed to be, which is out of sight. How many of you have experienced that? I just wonder. Is it fair? If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, give us a thumbs up. Bye now.